Hey guys, welcome back to the Sullivan family. It's Monday morning and I have a consultant appointment this morning. So I have a scan and all the other bits and pieces and a chat with the consultant. So I don't even know what time it is actually. I think it's about 11:15. My appointment's at 11. And as you know, I like to arrive a little bit early just in case of parking. And of course, as normal, the car park is busy. But what makes it even worse is the people in the big Jag who've parked over 3 spaces over there. And he sat in his car and can see everyone driving around for spaces. So, you know, I know you've got a big Jag, but do you have to park over 3 spaces so that nobody else can park in the other 2? Really? Is that really necessary? It's quite annoying in an already small car park, which is free, so you know there's no complaints there, but do you have to park over 3 spaces anyway? So yeah, I've got a space and I am going to go in just a second. I need to go and change my top because I have put it on back to front this morning. It's only taken me 4 hours to realise that I've put my clothes on back to front, but I'm going to go and turn it around the right way. So yeah, I'm 32 weeks yesterday and the baby's going nuts. It's just going nuts at the moment. It must know that it doesn't like being poked and prodded, so it must know I'm going somewhere. I put my coat on and it doesn't fit properly. It's too tight, but it's a bit too warm to wear my big coat to the hospital, so I thought I'll just put this coat on, but it doesn't do up very well. So anyway, yeah, 32 weeks yesterday, so this is just a kind of check-up on everything, how baby's growing. Fingers crossed everything will be just as it should be. It's nice that I get the kind of extra scans that I wouldn't have got, like with Elizabeth and Olivia. Obviously you get extra when you have the twins, but it's nice to have those. It's kind of just that extra little bit of reassurance when you can see them on the screen and you can see that everything's where it should be and that everything is growing well and doing what it should be doing. It kind of just gives you that extra little bit of reassurance, because you know it can be worrying and you do sort of wonder, you hope that everything's okay. But yeah, so fingers crossed everything will be fine. So I'm going to go in and see what's going on and we'll report back after. Okay, so I am done. I only got one picture this time. As they get bigger, it's really difficult to kind of to capture one kind of picture of the whole baby, because obviously there's limbs and bits of leg and arm and feet everywhere, and especially this one because it just starts putting its feet above its face and all sorts. But I got this one, you can't see it very clearly, so that's kind of a front face. So you've got, see, nose, eye socket, chin, but then the rest of the time it just turned its face the other way and didn't want to look. But you can see there was one like little side view one which was quite cute as well, where you can just see that it's got the same nose as all the others. But yeah, that's its little face. It's cute. I think that might be a hand. It's easier if I put it up that way. If I put it that way, I'll show the kids so they won't even know which bit they're looking at. They'll be like, which bit is it? But anyway, it was quite nice as well because I got to obviously you can't take any video, because I did ask at my first scan if I could take some video so that the others could see it as well, because obviously Ben's not been to a scan for I don't even know how many years. We did have a private scan with the twins, with Leah and Erin, which I think we took everybody to, so that would have been Toby upwards we took to that scan, and everyone could come in. But that was probably the last scan that Ben went to, because obviously I come to them all on my own. I do most of my appointments on my own, and I have done since we had more children, really, to be honest. you know, when we had Lizzie, we probably both went, and possibly with Olivia, but as we've had more children, it's kind of something that he's, you know, I'd rather know that the kids are, you know, at home having lunch if they need lunch, or, you know, looked after if they need looked after, or whatever, rather than worrying that I'm not back when it's lunchtime and they need to be there. It's just always easier for me to just kind of go off and do it. I mean, it does mean that, you know, Ben doesn't really get to see that side of things, which is a little bit sad. It's not ideal, but it's kind of the situation we're in, and we just deal with it as it is, because that's you know, that's what it is. Obviously I have to be there because it's growing inside me, and it would be nice if Ben could have come to a few, but especially now at the moment you're not allowed any children in there at all, any little children, so we wouldn't even be able to, if the others were at school and it'd just be me and Ben with the tiny two, we wouldn't be able to. And our kids don't really get left with many people, so we're not really used to leaving them with people, so it's just kind of one of those things that we just get on, and it's just easier for me to go and get it myself. But anyway, I did FaceTime today from having the scan, which was really nice, so it meant that they could all get to see what I can see, really, so that was nice for them. Although I think somebody halfway through went, I'm going to go play Play-Doh now, so yeah, bless them. Anyway, all is good. Baby is, I think, measuring at about £4.5 at the moment, so 32 weeks and £4.5. Obviously it's a bit of give or take, that's quite a good weight. I think Joseph was 2 weeks early and he was £7, nearly £8. Agnes was born pretty much 3 days, I think, early, and she was £9.3. So, you know, we're on track for a normal Sullivan sized baby, which is good. But it's, yeah, everything's where it should be. It's right in the middle of the charts, so it's growing perfectly, no issues, and I've got to go back again in 4 weeks time, I think. So yeah, really happy, really pleased with how all of it's gone. Just nice to see it kind of moving away on the screen, to be honest. So it's just nice to, as I said, it's quite difficult as it gets bigger to capture which bit you're actually looking at, because it's kind of all over the place, but it's nice to see that it's happy and healthy and looking like a Sullivan. Just another quick thing before I nip into Tesco's. I don't know how much I've gone into this situation with our hospital, Aberdeen, 𝙵𝚻𝙵𝙸, having to go to Aberdeen. I know I've talked about it on my blog, but I'm not sure how much I've gone into it on here. But anyway, maybe that's something I'll have to talk about. So basically I'm supposed to go to Aberdeen to have this baby. Aberdeen is 2 hours away, but because I'm on the red pathway, because of my age, amount of children we've had, etc, etc, I'm supposed to be on the red pathway, which means that I should go over to Aberdeen to give birth. Obviously a lot of my births have been very fast. Toby was born within 45 minutes in the back of an ambulance, because they kind of had the same policy down in Oxford at the time. Had I just gone to the birthing unit, he would have been born there. But anyway, that's a few years ago now. But yeah, so I'm supposed to go over to Aberdeen. So the consultant kind of suggested today that because of my age, they'd be looking at induction, because in a normal case somebody my age would be looking at an induction closer to obviously 40 weeks, but also I kind of feel a little bit like that, so that they can plan me in, so that there's no chance that I'll go to 𝙵𝚻𝙵, because if I've planned an induction in, it would have to be Aberdeen, and that would mean I'd be over in Aberdeen. And well, that's kind of, you know, you kind of think, well, at least then I'd know when it's going to be, which day it's going to be. I could book it in. I'm kind of really not up for that. I don't really want that extra intervention unless absolutely necessary. So obviously most of the children have been born early by a couple of weeks or on the due date, so in that between that sort of 37 and 40 weeks, so full term, really, that's classed as full term. Obviously with the twins, everything went a little bit wrong, and yes, if necessary, then I'll take any medical intervention necessary, obviously. You know, with the twins, if I'd have said I didn't want any medical intervention, then they wouldn't be here. So that's not my case. Obviously I had to have an emergency section with them, which wouldn't have been, you know, I wouldn't choose to have a cesarean ever, because it was probably the worst birth I've ever had. But then equally that was circumstantial as well, because it was an emergency, they were early, I was bleeding, so that was kind of circumstantial as well. But to be perfectly honest, having a C-section is not something that I would choose. Give me a normal birth any day. Obviously, if everything goes wrong, then I'll go wherever they need me to go, and I'll do whatever I'm needed to do to make sure the baby is safe. But my preference would be to just wait and for the baby to arrive naturally. I did end up having to be induced with Joseph because my waters broke. I went to Dr. Gray's, and because of this downgrade of the unit, I ended up having to go over in an ambulance to Aberdeen. I was really upset. Ben wasn't with me. I was in a little bit of shock, so it was kind of all, it was not a particularly nice experience. So my labour kind of stopped, my contractions stopped, everything stopped. And then the next day, because my waters had broken already previously the day before, they had to induce me, because obviously they need to, you know, the baby is at risk then. So I had to be induced. But it wasn't one of my best. It was, you know, he was born, it was fine, all that sort of thing, but it wasn't like when I had Agnes at Dr. Gray's and everything was lovely and calm, and I felt kind of comfortable. It was a lot different than that. I mean, ultimately the outcome is that you have a healthy baby, and that's true, but it's, you know, I feel that the birth experience is a really important one, and you know, to have a positive birth experience, it means so much than having a negative. You know, I've had both, and the negative one stays with you. I mean, I know everything that happened with the twins was just circumstances, but you know, that negative birth experience does stay with you, and it can cause a lot of, you know, problems mental health wise. And, you know, having a positive birth experience is a really important thing, I feel. So you know, maybe I'll do a bit more of a video on that, and a bit more of a video on the downgrade of our unit, and just to kind of let you all know what's kind of happened over the last couple of years. But yeah, for now, I thought I'd just add that in, that, you know, they're kind of intimating that come 39 weeks they might sort of say, well, we're going to put you over and be induced, but I'm not really up for that at the moment. So fingers crossed it will arrive on its own sort of 37, 38 weeks. I think we'll be waiting for that to happen. So yeah, for now everything's as it should be. I'm probably healthier now than when I had Elizabeth when I was in my 20s. So, and I know that, but obviously it's difficult for them because they have to play by the rules, and, you know, they have to put me in a category with everybody that is the same. But yeah, maybe I'll do another video on that another day, just having a chat about, you know, the difference between positive and negative birth stories, and the impact that the downgrade of our unit has had. But for now, I'm really hungry, so I'm going to go into Tesco's and get some lunch and some shopping. Okay, so that is the day done. Back home. Everybody was pleased that they got to see the scan on the FaceTime, so that was good. Lots of questions from the little ones, which is really sweet. And now I don't know where the day's gone. The day's gone and it's finished, and they are now getting into bed. Toby's just going back out. So yeah, it was just a quick kind of 32-week you can see the rogue balloons flying around. Took the balloon arch down yesterday and there's just balloons everywhere. I've had them, I've burst a load of them, they're everywhere. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, just a quick update on how 32 weeks is, and you know, the baby and how it's all going. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm going to be doing some more stuff, putting together some more bits and pieces, baby related. There's some bits and pieces that I need to buy, so I thought I'd do a bit of a shopping haul video when I've got everything that I need to get, and just some bits and pieces that we need to get out and get sorted. So we'll probably have a video, a bit of a chat about the sort of things that we need and things that we use, maybe things that we didn't need, so that might be a good one to do as well, if anyone thinks. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, drop a comment if you like, any other suggestions, things that you might like to see to do with the baby coming, and we will see you in the next video. Bye guys.